Alright guys, in this video we're going to be subtracting fractions, and I think this one might be a little bit shorter just because we're going to keep it pretty simple. And the rules for subtracting fractions are really very similar to adding fractions, in that denominators must be the same. Okay, so I think in your packet you have a page or two of subtraction word problems. I'm not going to go over any of these specific word problems because I want you to be able to try most of those on your own. They're pretty, I think they're already set up for you to be the same denominator. And you want to just make sure you're looking for those keywords that tell you if it's subtraction, such as how many more or how many were left. Anything that sounds like you have a total of something and you're taking part away, that's how you know that it's subtraction. Now with fractions, again, it's pretty straightforward, especially if they're giving you the same denominator. Let's say you have 8/10 and you're taking away 3/10. You almost don't even want to worry about the denominator because that's going to stay the same, and that's the easy part. As we say, that's the unit. It's staying the same. And then you just simply do 8 minus 3, which you should all know is 5. Okay, so that's really, when you have the same denominator, that's all you have to do. Now, if you're given a question such as, let's say 7/8 minus 1/4. Now that's where it gets tricky, and you cannot just say, oh, I'm going to do 8 minus 4 and 7 minus 1, and then that's it. And the answer is 6/4. No, that's a fraction greater than 1. That makes no sense. Can't do that. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is how you want to get the denominator, how you can get the denominators or the units the same. So what you should do is you have to ask yourself, do any of these numbers have a good, what we call, working relationship? And yes, they do, the 8 and the 4, because 8 is a multiple of 4. So what I'm going to do is, I want to make this 1/4 eighths. How can I do that? Well, all right, so the 7/8 is staying the same. All right, and then, I don't want to do it like that. And then it's 1/4, it's there. But I want it to equal eighths, okay? How can I go from 4 to 8? Times 2. Yeah, times 2. You know that we can get from 4 to 8 by doing times 2. And the rule is, whatever you do to the bottom number, you have to do to the top. So then you would do times 2 also. 1 times 2 is, 2. So this, we just created an equivalent fraction, just like that. So now we can go back and add, we are subtracting. And we can do now 7/8 minus 2/8, because these are the same. All we did was find an equivalent fraction. So now it's very simple, just like the one up here. 7 minus 2 is 5, and 8 minus, and then 8 stays the same. That's it. The answer is 5/8. One last example I want to show you. I showed you a subtraction problem that had denominators that had good working relationships. But what if I had something like this? Let's say 5/7 minus 2/3. I don't have any numbers there that have that good working relationship. So what you can do is you're going to find an equivalent fraction to both of these, similar to how we did here, and you're going to change both denominators. Okay? So 5/7 and 2/3 are both going to change. Now, how you're going to find an equivalent fraction is your new unit is going to come from multiplying these two numbers. So our new unit is going to be what? 21st, because 7 times 3 is 21. All right, now we get from 3 to 21 by doing what? Times 7. Whatever you do on the bottom, you have to do up top. 2 times 7 is 14. Same thing here. 7 times what is 21? It's 3. What do we do on the bottom? You have to do up top. So the same here. 5 times 3 is 15. These are very close in value fractions. So now our new subtraction problem, I'll write it down here because we have more room. 15 21sts minus 14 21sts equals what? What's 15 minus 14? 1 21st. And that's that. One last thing, actually. If you had, let's say they say, what's 2 minus 1/3? Well, you have to know what 2 wholes would be, right? So in thirds, 2 wholes would be what? Well, of course, it would be 6, because 6 divided by 3 is 2. So then you do 6/3 minus 1/3, 1/3 equals 5/3. And while we're at it, let's review how to do a mixed number. Geez, this video is going longer than I thought. Number bond. Take out 1 whole, which is 3/3. And then what's left over from there? You got it, 2/3. This feels like one of those little shows on PBS where I'm talking and I'm getting blank empty answers and oh yeah, I heard you, good job. I don't know, maybe I'm just losing it. All right, so this is 1 whole and 2/3 is left over. There's your mixed number. All right, you should have everything there for your repertoire to know how to subtract fractions. Any questions, please comment below. I will constantly be checking on you guys in Google Classroom. Miss you guys. Hope you're staying safe. Hope everybody's good. Talk to you later.